you've been coaching Otim Dickens for 3 years, but you've also played with him in Nkumba University for quite some time. What relationship did you share with him then when you were just players, and the relationship you have with him now that you're now his coach?
Let me start with the relationship and how we came to meet him, maybe how we started working together with him. It was maybe 2005 or 4, 5, 6 there, between there, when we got a team from Katikamu. I think by then, Coach Johnny, who was our coach by then, he was a player, and I think Indaula was the coach. Targeted that guy, he saw him, and he brought him to play with the university. By then he was in secondary, but he could come and play with us in the clubs category, and he could play for his school for the institution category. So that's when we started seeing him, and since then he was in secondary with his buddy Opio. They came together, they spent 2 years, they were in secondary but always coming here to play some league games with us. So even after their A-level, we called them to join us, they accepted. Yes, so since then they joined fully now with the institution and clubs. We are playing with them, so it has been a long time when you are with those guys, and especially our team in particular. So it's a long time. And
what kind of relationship did you have with him when you two were just players before you became coach?
Yeah, the relationship was good. That's what I can say, because this is a player who has no problem at all. Not any other person, even outside the game, is just a good player. He's disciplined, he listens. Even if he's good, he does not show off. So generally, the relationship was good, and I have no problem with him ever since. Even now, I'm his coach, but he's at a high level of play. But even he respects sometimes what I say, because I've played for him for some good time. If it was another player, maybe he would be saying, "No, coach, that dude doesn't help us. Maybe we do this." But he tries to listen and contributes towards the team.
You're also still an active player. You're set up for the team. Yeah. When you had started playing with a team, setters usually get these problems of adjusting to the kind of balls or the kind of style their attackers want. Did you get that problem, you trying to bond with a team, especially trying to set for him the balls?
Basically, me as a setter, the first thing I learned actually in volleyball was to set middle balls, short balls. That's how I did not find a lot of problems setting for a team, because my game was always in the middle. Other than out balls, I learned setting from the middle, short balls, than the power balls, backwards what. So I did not find so much problems, maybe because he's a left-handed player. Some timing changes with the right-handed player and the left-handed player. Only that, but it took me just a little while to catch up with him. And since also by then he was developing, it was easy for me to adjust with him. Maybe if he was a too good player and I was below him, maybe I would have got problems. But he was developing also, yet he found me at that level. So it was easy for me to work with him. He's a tall player. People who jump and high, it's easy to play with them because you just set the ball to his hand. Only that. If you can do that, you can do with any player at least.
Well, as a coach, what would you say this is your team's best quality on court?
A lot. Basically on net defense and net attack. Yeah. All the backcourt cover and service maybe is not that dangerous. But with the defense, he can stop one man and he can join the block. He can correct people from whatever angles. And for his attacks, if he attacks, you just admire. Because even you who sets for him, you feel even you should not talk as if you are the one who has attacked the ball. And really, it is a good feeling when you set for him and you play with him. He's a good player, especially in attack. The stool shot, the moving shot, the back shots, they are wonderful if you play with him or you see him playing. Yeah.
Well, he's doing his last year at the university. I don't know his plans, his future plans, but in case he's to leave Nkumba University and move on, probably to go to another club, how much will Otim Dickens take away from the volleyball team?
Of course, we would have gone with a lot, because basically Nkumba as a team, for me I've been in it, but our best players been starting from the middle, or from the middle players. You can deal with any other power attacker, whoever comes, as long as he knows what to do, you can deal with him. But it's not easy to find center blockers now in our country, and those who are still there, they are still young, they need to be developed. So we shall miss him very much, and he would have gone with a lot. We will have gone with a lot. But other things are, if someone moves away, always we'll have someone in. Because I remember last year we lost like 3 players, and good players of our team. But the team is still on, and it is surviving. Yeah.
Probably the last question that we'll be asking everyone. When you look at the current crop of volleyball players in Uganda, where would you rate Otim?
What I can say is among the best players we have. Actually, it should be among the best 3 or the best 5 players we have in the country.
Who are those 5?
If I can consider, we can have him, we can have George.
In that order?
The order may not matter, but at least almost. We may have Emma Kato. Then there are special players like Tom. There's this level. It is different from these other players, and especially what he has as a player. Individuality is the universal player. So he does almost everything. Those are also hard players to find. So it's around that. Yes.
Thank you very much. Well, you've heard from different people, the national team coach, Anthony Ndaula. You've heard from Johnson Kaonyera, the gentleman who coached Otim Dickens through his HSC, then recruited him to Nkumba University. You've heard from Albert Guy. He's current coach, but also player. They've been together for quite some time. And the next gentleman we're going to talk to, apparently, he's a man that told us he started crawling with Otim Dickens. They have been together from the time they were babies. They're in university, and they're still together. They have grown through the ranks. Probably he would have been doing another sport, but they are together, and it has also made them play the same sport. Opio Moses, just tell us your story, because I know your story revolves around Otim's story.
Me, with Otim Dickens, I can say that we are brother. We are not friends. We are brother. We went to the same primary school. We grew up together. We went to the same secondary school. We went to the same universities, and we've been playing in one club. That is Nkumba University Volleyball Club. I've never changed any club, and up to now I've been with him. In fact, we've been staying in the same room for some good time up to now that we are still together. So what I know about Otim is he's a nice guy. I've enjoyed being with him. I've enjoyed everything with him. He's a principal guy. What I like about him is not a guy who talks a lot. When he's talking, he's going straight to point. So I also learned much from him, basing on such principle of not talking much, doing the action, and that's why I think he has succeeded very well in the game. That's why I rate him as the best center player in Uganda. In fact, to the level of East Africa, he's the best. Only that, there are other challenges that maybe a player may face in Uganda here. You may not maintain your form consistently due to other factors. Maybe financial factors, maybe you have a lot of needs and you cannot sustain. So at the moment, in fact, we are even doing our master together. We are going to finish together and we shall graduate together. So a lot have been said about him. But I think the best person who can talk well about him is me. Other people just got to know him from maybe senior 6. But me, I got to know him when we were still babies.